Your entire life, you are brainwashed into following lines. This obstacle right here is the challenge. Mike Tyson's got one of the best quotes out there. Everybody's got a game plan until they get punched in the mouth. This would be a great spot for you to showcase skid plates. So I'm not gonna say anything till I see you're either in a bad spot or you're gonna harm the vehicle, then I will tell you. So even going up that side, the biggest pitfall, you put any tire in that hole, you're gonna have another tire off the ground. Let it off, let it off. Work the wheel gently. There you go.
We are currently at AOAA, one of the top 10 off-road adventure parks in America. We brought with us 2 Broncos to learn off-road techniques through hundreds of miles of trail in their 8,000-acre adventure area, which includes every obstacle imaginable. This is Kyle, our super informative guide. Today he's teaching us how to pick the best path up a rocky terrain hill while also trying to land our IAG rock armor skid plates on some large rocks. Not only to get some sick footage, but to put them to the test. Yeah, I'm kind of waiting to see what is next. I mean, I feel like this can clear anything at this point. I feel though that I'm also going to be proven wrong very fast.
We're going to stop here and how about take a look at this obstacle?
Can we turn around?
Before you tackle any of this stuff, think about what you need to do with that vehicle tomorrow. Think about you have to drive it home. So now when you go, I got to drive it home, before you even consider the obstacle, now go by your gut. Don't wait till you're in there, you're leaning against a tree and you got a tire wedged under a rock and then go, I'm just going to give it gas and hurry up and get out of here. And that's what happens with a lot of drivers. They'll be like, oh, dents and scratches are all part of off-roading. Well, they are if you're bouncing off a tree. Try doing it without bouncing off of trees once. It makes you a better driver. Like in a spot like this, I don't care what side you go up. I want to see you drive it home. It takes more skill to keep yourself in check and pick a better line and not damage the vehicle than it does to just close your eyes, put your foot to the floor and hope you make it to the top. Hope is not a technique. You need to be able to safely get the vehicle through it or it's not worth it.
So this side has more rock, but this side to me looks like it also has bigger rocks.
These rocks don't move, those do. But what is your gut telling you which side to go up right now?
I mean, I should probably go up the right side.
You're thinking that from here. We're gonna walk up and look at it and then you can make up your mind from there. But if you were right here rolling into it like you're in a group or an event, say you're at a Bronco event and everybody's just going right through the one line, you gotta shift on the fly.
I do worry more like they look bigger on this side, even though they move, you may have more stuff to maneuver around on that side.
In relation with this, your bad on-road habits. Your entire life, you are brainwashed into following lines. Got the yellow line, the white line. Even to the point of the way they lay bricks on sidewalks or to lead your mind somewhere. It's all subliminal direction. They want you to go somewhere. Off-roaders have the A to B mentality. They start here, they need to go up there, and they go straight. You can go this way, this way, this way,
I see
this
it now.
way. So if you go right up here, and then right before the brush, hook to the right.
Yep, I see
go up
it.
that, go over to the all the way to the right, then hook back to the left and up. So once you start looking at the terrain and picking through it, now it makes your driving through it easier. And it's not that you have to hit every challenge. You need to make it to the top without breaking it. That's the skill. So let's walk up there and look at it a little closer. So now we have, that's the easy way. And I'm not saying it's easy as in you shouldn't go that way. You know the safe way. So we have the safe way there. So you always have your fallback. Mike Tyson's got one of the best quotes out there. Everybody's got a game plan until they get punched in the mouth. What that equates to out here, you start to go up this, you're on your line, it's going well. And the front end slides 2 feet to the right. Now you just got punched in the mouth. You have to adapt on the fly. So his analogy with that is you're in a fight, all of a sudden your game plan goes out the window and you have to react now. Same thing happens out here. You start going up this, you start to spin or you slide, you gotta react now. Not that you have to rush, but you have to be able to interpret the information from the driver's seat without looking. You can always back down and reposition. It's how you adapt to that situation. So even going up that side, the biggest pitfall, you put any tire in that hole, you're gonna have another tire off the ground. But over here, you have a better ramp. You have both tires hitting at the same, you're not trying to climb higher with one or the other, and you can just gently roll through this. And then you can go right to where he's standing, over to that edge, then hook back, and avoid most of the nasty stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of what I started seeing. Once you said you don't have to take a one straight path through.
Nope. Path of least resistance. So now, while we're here, let's look at the hard line. People are going to tell you, oh, taking bypasses and going around isn't doing the trail. You can see where everybody goes. Look where there's no leaves. How many people are driving up that section right there? Not many. Look at all the leaves. Same thing on a lot of trails. They'll have the hard trail, but all the grass will be beat down on the easier path through the hard trail. The hardest part of the trail has 3-foot tall grass in the middle. Everybody's bypassing anyway. Yes, that is the harder path going up that edge, but everybody else is coming up right through here. As I come up, I stick to this edge. And the reason why, there's not much here to catch my undercarriage. Now this obstacle right here is the challenge. So how would you see going through this? Look for a path of least resistance and not an A to B path. You don't have to go all the way over that. S-curve your way through. This would be a great spot for you to showcase skid plates because you're gonna lightly touch, because it's literally gonna go bam and up. So what I typically do is spotting that helps drivers become better drivers. You tell me where you want your tires. And what I'm gonna do from the outside is I'm gonna watch to make sure you don't harm the vehicle. So I'm not gonna say anything till I see you're either in a bad spot or you're gonna harm the vehicle, then I will tell you. In return, when you're driving, if there's a certain spot, it's like say you want your tire on this rock, right as you're coming up, say, I want my tire on this rock. So then I'll tell you which way to turn to put your tire on this rock. You're picking your path. I'm not telling you where to go. You are responsible for your vehicle. You're the driver, but I'm your outside set of eyes. Don't fully rely on me telling you everywhere to go. You drive it. Tell me what you want to see from the outside, and I will tell you what's happening out here, but only by what you want to see. I'm not going to flood you with information unless you're going to harm the vehicle. I want you to drive it. I'm just going to tell you, are you going to hit this? Are you going to hit that? And you tell me where you want to go. Do it for you learning, but also do it for your product shots.
Love to see it parked on the transmission skid and the fuel tank skid.
Well, you got to tell. That's what you need to tell me where those are.
Right, okay, so
The fuel tank is the big one.
the fuel tank's what, passenger side rear?
Yep.
So we'll put it right on that.
I'm probably driving the tire like I'm trying to hit this.
Correct, and then you drop off, put your passenger front tire right where his feet are. Then you're gonna be on that skid plate right there.
Okay.
And then for this one over here, you're gonna hit everything just inside the driver's frame rail. So your transmission skid plate's gonna touch right on these rocks.
Okay.
To add a little bit more touch, now you're gonna touch even more. With this, I'm not going to be spotting, so don't look at me for input unless you think you're going to harm something or you want input, because it makes you a better driver then, and it gets you picking lines and feeling out the truck, but it also gives you the comfort knowing I'm going to watch to make sure you don't harm it. I'm going to tell you before you're going to hit something that's going to harm the vehicle. If you're just going to lightly scrape, I'm going to let you lightly scrape. I'm going to tell you what's lightly scraping so you know, but I'm not going to tell you where to go. I want you to pick your path. Typically, somebody's up here telling you exactly where to turn the entire way. Well, that's not you driving, that's just you listening. You're driving. Now, you can't go too slow. Nice and easy, nice and slow. Okay, now, just like that, go forward a few more feet. You can start turning slightly driver. Now, straighten the wheel right there, slow. Okay, so like right there, that is the perfect scenario. And now right here, we're gonna get really close to that skid plate. So go forward slow. Okay, it's not going to hit. You sit high enough. Okay, that's fine. All right, so let's try to hit this other side first. So go hard passenger back up. Now straighten the wheel. Yep, right there, back up a little bit more. Okay, so right there's your lower control arm bracket touching. Easy. Now passenger. Right there, hold. Touching. How much clearance do we have over it?
Still some clearance.
Jeez. Okay. Well, you sit a lot higher than expected. Drive the rest of the way up it. There we go. Okay, now just work the wheel. Yeah, don't get as aggressive, just let it lightly spin. Yep, turn driver, let it lightly spin. Yep, okay, lightly spin. Yep, let it walk, let it walk. Work the wheel gently. There you go. Perfect.
All right, so I just finished going up, well, not that side. I went up the other side where it's a little more rocky. Here, let me show you. We're going up with the other Bronco right now, so you can check out kind of what we're dealing with here. So actually, I feel like really accomplished on that one because from the bottom, it looked really tough, but it actually wasn't that bad. As long as I found the path that I needed to go down, it wasn't too bad. Go up, you know, wasn't too bad. So I know we're gonna find some harder rock gardens because the truck sits up a little bit high and we really didn't touch any of the skid plates, which is what we're trying to do. So we're gonna try something even crazier. Yay. Actually, I'm having a ton of fun. This is wild. If you've never done this, you totally should do this.
Slow as you come forward. Oh! Now go driver. Work it, driver. A little more. Right there. Should bite now. There you go. Oh! Okay, now it's hitting transmission.
So it's wild. When I first saw that, there was like there was no way I was getting up that thing. But once I did it, now I feel confident. I could do it again, even better. So I feel a lot more confident just like going up it once. As I went up it, I get about halfway up, I'm like, oh, this isn't that bad. And then once I got through the rocks, it's like, yeah, I can do this. The only tough part at that point was when you got to the very top and you couldn't see what was over it, and you're just relying that hopefully it's flat. And it was.
Work it. Stay with it, see if it'll go. One more. Yeah, right there. So what it does is it kicks the traction control in, it senses its torque load, and shuts it down so it doesn't break. Okay? Go for it. Hard driver. Let it walk. Yep. Keep going. Keep the hard driver. See if it'll go. Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. One more. There you go. Little driver. Right there. Straighten it out. Roll. That traction control is amazing once you get comfortable with that sweet spot.
Now, once we made it through the massive rock hill, I did have one more chance at trying to hit all the skid plates. We went to a section of the trail with these massive rocks, and I drove straight at them. And finally, we were able to hit every skid plate that we needed to test. Plus, we got some sick footage of all the IAG Rock Armor skid plates, especially the front one, which I may have hit a little harder than I planned.